Hey guys, this is me building a $3 million a year business in public. The way these videos always start is I do some Q&A just to deliver some value right off the bat. Then I talk growth stats so you guys could see just how my growth has been over the last little while. Finally, I rounded out with some live strategy. So this is my main channel here, 125K subs. This is the daily updates channel. I scroll all the way down to the bottom and grab the oldest comment. And that is from Business AI. He says, super cool looking guy. Thank you. Got a juicy question going on. Oh, I totally answered this in yesterday's video, so leave it there. HSA08 says, hey Nick, when I run a cold email campaign for a client, who manages the inbox and replies, me or the client? There's a big time zone difference. Big time zone difference is in your ability to manage, like you can't manage because there's a big time zone difference, or they can't manage because there's a big time zone difference. Either way, my personal recommendation is you containerize your entire offer into an ongoing service where basically the client pays you a certain amount of money and then you, in return, just get them a bunch of booked meetings. This is essentially like lead gen, so it's a little bit different than just the AI automation offer. You're not just selling the system and handing it off, but in my experience, people that sell the system and hand them off, and I've done this myself, usually report clients not knowing how to take an opportunity and then convert that into a lead. They also don't know like how valuable leads are. That's one of the reasons why they're in a position where they have a need for somebody else to build out a system like this for them. So yeah, a lot of the time you just take like all of the templates that I've given you, your understanding of cold email, the same systems that you use to acquire them as a client, and you just duplicate it for them. It's hyper leveraged, very scalable. And you can also implement some AI-based systems to do things like, immediately reply and so on and so forth. So yeah, containerized is the word of the day today. Containerized just means it's very similar to productize, a little bit different. Right now your system looks like this. And then you hand it off to a client, and there are all these disparate parts. There's node A, node B, node C, node D, node E. Maybe they have to enter some Apollo search URL. Then they have to like scrape the leads, and they have to do this. They have to upload it to Google Drive. They have to whatever. What you do is you just take all those and you put them in a little container where the only thing a client sees is, hey, I provide you this much money, and then you provide me this much money. And I will continue happily providing you this much money if you give me a multiple on the amount of money that I'm providing. Okay. So that's what Containerized is. Big approach that a lot of agencies end up discovering, usually organically. I don't really do this in as systematized a way as I talk about, but they should. DS Jeremy says, hey Nick, as always, thanks so much for this valuable content, man. Some food for thought questions I believe would be great as dedicated videos. How do you align expectations with clients? What's the best way to do it? Make them fill out a form beforehand versus holding a discovery call? No, definitely go to the discovery call, man. You want to, personalize this as much as possible. You want to maximize for like FaceTime with the person before you've landed them for sure. So aligning expectations and whatnot is very much like a sales skill. It's a soft skill. It's something that you do when you're on a call with them. Don't try and farm this out to a form because as nice as it is to have like, text data and checkboxes, I will do this, I will do that. Yes, I agree with these expectations. It's nowhere near as powerful as a relationship that you could build on a call. Want to make a client's tight timelines? I want a full AI-generated YouTube video process in 2 days. Thanks, buddy. No problem, man. Tight timelines? Well, obviously you have to be realistic. I just like being straight up with them and saying, if you're asking for something that's too good to be true, and then I come around and tell you that thing, odds are it's not going to be true. So I would rather, I would love to tell you that I could do it in 2 days because then you would pay me money and then we could move forward with our lives and, I could be $1,500 richer, but that's just not really realistic. So I care a lot about the quality of this, the longevity of this. We require multiple steps in between starting the project and completing it. A lot of the time, those steps in and of themselves will take a full 2 days. So, if you're okay waiting for around a week or so, maybe like nine or 10 days or something like that, then I'm happy to do it. If not, it might be better for you to find another freelancer. I find if you're just straightforward with them and you make it a clear equation where it's like, well, hey, listen, there's quality, there's cost, and then there's speed, and you can only have two. Like I find if you just make it abundantly clear to them that that is the trade-off that they're making, then, they're more likely to trust you, actually. And you can see this as an opportunity to sell them better. Hey, Nick, what did your daily schedule look like when you're focused on the agency side of things and or when you're just starting out? Did you have an hour plan with time block for outreach strategy follow-ups, etc.? I'm trying to build a strong system to help move the needle on a daily basis. Thanks for all the valuable content. No, I did not have an hour-by-hour system, but I will run you through what my schedule looked like. Basically, my schedule mirrored the pipeline of a typical agency. So, at the top of an agency, you have lead gen. So, you'll have like, like email, cold email. You'll have Upwork. Obviously, everybody has slightly different lead gen methods, but maybe LinkedIn, you might have like communities, you might have trade shows, whatever the hell. I don't know. We just had somebody land a $54,000 500 deal, $54,500 from a trade show or something like that in makemoneywithmake.com, which is freaking awesome. So whatever your lead gen methods are, then what do? You pump them up to some sort of sales call. After the sales calls, what do? You do some sort of kickoff call. After the kickoff call, what do? You do some sort of fulfillment. And after the fulfillment, what do? You do some sort of like retention. You do some sort of follow-up. So this is like the way that clients flow through an agency, right? You can conceptualize this as sort of like a pipeline, kind of like this. Now, the exact same way that the customer flows through most of these points is the exact same way that I recommend laying out your day. I recommend starting every day by focusing on the top of this funnel. Focus on lead gen. Knock out lead gen for, 1 or 2 hours or something like that. Then do all your sales calls afterwards, schedule them. I mean, obviously, if you are at the start line of your business, you do have to make yourself available for client calls. Sometimes they're going to want them early in the morning. Sometimes they're going to want them later. But generally speaking, do your sales calls. Do onboarding calls after that, maybe like an hour a day. Then do fulfillment. Maybe this is like 1 to 2 hours. And then if you have follow-ups or retention or whatever, then do these after. Now, obviously, like retention and follow-ups are kind of better off here, but just wanted to give you guys a simple framework you could use to follow. So guess what? I didn't just do this when I was in the middle of scaling my agency. I'm doing this right now. I do this every single day. It's almost the exact same thing. If you guys head over to, let me see, my Nick Saraev work log. It's just a Twitter account where I basically post all of my work. And I just talk about what it is that I'm doing. And sorry, I'm on cellular data still. So let me just move this closer to the window so it doesn't take an hour. This is actually my new daily schedule I just built out. And it's very, very similar, I would say, to this. Now the difference is I'm front loading with Make Money with Make Management, Maker School Management. But yeah, this is basically my whole daily schedule. So my lead gen in a way is like my reputation. And so how do I maximize my reputation? I do the community management right now. And then I do some inbox zero. This is almost like, you can kind of think of this as like more like these three, they're not exactly lead gen, but they are lead gen adjacent. So I start with lead gen. Then what do I do after that? I do content, which is lead gen for me as well. Then what do I do after that? I do the fulfillment. And then at the very end, I have some miscellaneous admin. It's not one-to-one, but just notice how I start by focusing on what I consider to be the highest ROI part of my day. I always just front load that. You want to focus on the most important thing that makes you the most money immediately every day while your mind is fresh and you're as full of energy as you'll ever be. And for most people at the start line, that's the lead gen. Then you want to kind of just work your way down the stack. You know what I mean? Hopefully, I've given you guys some insights there. Steve Abraham said, and thank you, Viresh. Steve Abraham says, Nick, thanks for the roast. It'd be great if you could disclose this to you in more detail, most probably private. Maybe you have a call where I can give you the full context of what I have for my proposal for the client. Sure, man, you can send it over. I can't guarantee any sort of response time, just buried under a load right now. Although part of my live strategy today is going to be talking about a cool system that I built to help me with that. Viresh says, hey, Nick, additional question. How do you tackle cold email campaigns pausing due to high bounce rates? Do you use an additional email verification tool? Yeah, for sure. I use a number of email verification tools, but I'm not going to lie, everybody has everybody's so freaking hard about email verification. They just got boners for this stuff. It's crazy. Everybody's like, you got to verify your list. If you don't verify your list, your email is going to be trash. Nothing in life is black or white. It's all shades of gray. It's a gradient. It's a sliding scale. And cold email is no different. In cold email, it's not like you have to do this or you have to do that or your campaign will suck. Okay. What it is this is the scale from like a good campaign to a bad campaign. And there are certain behaviors that push you more towards the good campaign, and there are other behaviors that push you more towards a bad campaign. So let me give you an example of one lever that you could pull right now to push way over to the good side. This is become a great copywriter. So if you have great copy, your campaign by default is going to be freaking awesome. What are some bad things that push you over to this side? It's invalid emails. So what do? When I spin up a campaign, I don't actually verify first. What I do is I just get as many leads as possible. I write a killer piece of copy, and that pushes me all the way over here. And then, I don't verify my emails or validate them or whatever. So then, I kind of move back over here. But this is okay. This to me is the 80-20. What are some other examples of things that follow the same concept, including links in your emails? Including links in your emails pushes you back a fair amount. But if you think about it, something that pushes you forward a great amount is adding value. Okay. So the downside to your deliverability is often outweighed by the upside to the value of including some asset that is customized for the prospect in an email. So if you start over here, then you add all this value, now you're over here, and then you subtract out the value of the links, the downside risk of links, you're still kind of like a little bit further ahead, which is why I recommend things like asset-based outreach. Combine that with some great copy, and you're all the way over here. You invalidate the list, you're over here. It's a trade-off, okay? So how do I tackle cold email campaigns pausing due to high bounce rates? I turn that feature off because I'm okay with a higher bounce rate because my email copy is so great that generally speaking, the two kind of even out. Is this optimal? No, for sure. But I honestly just typically, not to be crass or anything, but I will just like crap out campaigns left, right, and center. I focus more on speed and agility and my ability to go from 0 to 1 than I do my like validation of the thing. And then once I've, than any sort of scaling of the thing. And then once I've validated the thing, then I worry about scaling it and, crossing my T's and dotting my I's after. Then I introduce an email validation service, something like mails.so or never bounce or whatnot. By the way, there's 250,000 free credits for mails.so that you get if you join Maker School, fulfill an application inside of Maker School, and then get verified. But something like, I don't know, 80% of the people that have tried fulfilling this application with some link that is hosted inside of Maker School, Make Money with Make, end up receiving the 250,000 credits. So if you want 250,000 credits, definitely check that out. Techley says, so why don't, we know you don't spend your money on material stuff. Why not donate some for a good cause? Not saying you don't, was just trying to give you an idea. Do you just reinvest money in properties or trading stuff? No, not really. No, I don't reinvest money in properties or trading stuff. Right now, I'm actually still in that stage where I think I'm providing safety and security mostly to my family. So, I will most certainly get to the point where I'm donating my money for a good cause. And I've already started asking people in my network, for causes to donate to. There's also a lot of like tax write-off implications here. So I'm also discussing this with my accountant. But no, as of now, I do not donate to a quote unquote good cause. Another thing I should mention there is I used to work for a charity, and I don't want to say, speak any ill of the charity, but the charity was horrifically managed. And I think that a lot of nonprofits are just by nature horrifically managed. So this is one of those things where like, I don't just want to give money to a cause that's going to misuse the cause, misuse the money. I want to give money to a cause that is incentivized to spend that money intelligently. And so nonprofits and charities and those sorts of organizations are less likely to be able to fully utilize my dollar simply by virtue of the fact that their incentives are not aligned. And I always just look at incentives when I try and make a decision like this. It's the same way that I feel about investor money. When you accept investor money, it is not your money. So by virtue of the fact that it is not your money, you didn't have to sweat, bleed for it. You don't have some sort of incentive or downside risk if you misuse it anywhere near as big as if you were taking it from your own bank account. You're less likely to spend it totally pragmatically. And, like I bootstrapped all of my businesses basically from the ground up since day one. I don't think I've ever received a single dollar from anybody. I want to make sure I can make that claim. But yeah, I don't think I've ever received a single dollar for anybody. I've sold a business. That doesn't really count. I've never received any funding. I've never received anything like that. So I've always been very pragmatic, very stringent with my spending. And that's why I spend so well and so effectively. So yeah, it's kind of the same concept. I want to make sure whoever I give my money to is sort of incentivized. So I'm not really sure the best way to do it. And I'm currently working that out right now, but definitely still in the safety and security to my family and the people that are close to me stage. Eventually, I get so big and I make so much money that like there's just nowhere left to reinvest within my family. And then I got to go out to my local community. But yeah, I will get there soon, I'm sure. Want to create this agent videos in Hindi? Is it possible? I want to know if Indians should make this knowledge. Can you make this in Hindi language properly so that everyone can understand in India? You know what? Great question. I'm actually introducing dubbing now onto my videos. I did this on my main channel and I've seen some success with it. So YouTube unfortunately doesn't allow you to do the dubbing yourself. You have to wait until like you hit a certain channel size, but I will certainly be dubbing these pretty shortly. Alex Son of Thunder says, yo, Nick, thanks for the great content, adding so much value. Great way to do it as opposed to Lima Otley's weekly Google Meet. Does he have a weekly Google Meet? I didn't even know. Huh. What does he do? Like answer Q&A? What's the fastest way to build trust and confidence when a random lead is interested but does not know me yet? Also, how do you, in their eyes, eliminate risk and almost guarantee results and values that they feel like their well-invested money will actually bring results, not just another risky and costly endeavor with a random dude who just emailed me with an offer? How do you just make them say, shut up and take my money? My best guess so far is showcasing a demo and projecting results based on their current processes and doing some calculations, but I'm definitely curious what your take is on all this. Yeah, for sure. That's basically it, honestly. You said almost guarantee results. I guarantee results. I say, you will get X, Y, and Z or risk mitigation. So there's a difference between like an emotional sales decision, which is what a lot of people will push for. You need to buy this now. You know that you want this. This is aligned with everything that, everything that you've told me so far. You have all the information you need to make this decision. So let's make it now. And then there's like intellectual sales decision, which is, is the return on investment of this positive? Am I going to make money by investing in this or am I going to lose money? So the guarantee solves the intellectual. And then I find that it also solves the emotional. It just makes it like a no-brainer. If you are willing to guarantee your service, and if you don't, you just give them all their money back, like intellectually speaking, there's no reason why they should not accept or move forward with you. Unless there's some other major issue that you haven't handled on a sales call, unless you're like really untrustworthy or unless you haven't built up value enough or whatever. So sorry about that. Yeah, guys, like, yeah, that's how you do it. You just offer a guarantee. It sounds like you got most of the right pieces here. I just wouldn't pitch it as a demo because when you pitch things as a demo, in my experience, you tend to become like a dancing monkey on performance for the person that's like rating you. And then if you don't do a good enough job, they don't give you your snack or your treat, which is your deal closed. So I always like to frame things as like from one business owner to another. Hey, let me show you something really cool. You're going to love this. Like, hey, I've actually built a system that did just that for a 7-figure business. I built a system that, extracted leads from this source and then enriched them with this source. And then I know you weren't asking for this, but on top of that, we also did this. Do you want to see it? It's super cool. And then they're like, oh yeah, that sounds pretty sweet. And then I show it to them. So now I'm kind of like on the same level as them. And it's more of a, hey, this is pretty cool. Not necessarily, hey, dance for me, monkey. Okay, I'll leave it there. Let's do some brand stats. So June the 4th today, or yesterday, June the 5th today, main channel is now at 120. Let's refresh this. 125,445 subs. We've grown by 873. Then my Instagram channel, which I find using Blast Up, is 194,350. We're just under 200,000, which is cool. Then my daily updates channel, if I just zoom out of this, go to analytics, is at 6,291. So just some growth stuff. I don't know why this was 0.45. I must have recorded this pretty early. This is a much bigger day than this. Odd. I'm not really sure what went on there, but sometimes these things do be happening. Instagram's bigger. This is bigger. They're not all proportional, but this is pretty run of the mill. Okay, so where we're at, I'm publishing another video today. It's not a super long, crazy video. It's just a video on productization. I'm pretty stoked about it. I recorded it right here in the new studio. Speaking of new studio, we got some audio issues. Hopefully Aphonic has fixed most of them, but I'm just like talking to a wall. There's no furniture anywhere here. So every word that I say, I just hear it reflected and echoing. It's really annoying for me, hopefully not annoying for you guys, but yeah, it's something that I'm going to fix pretty soon. What else? The place right, like my left side here is a big window. So from the studio perspective, I have like variable lighting. So it's not like the end of the world or anything. It's actually really nice. It's very beautiful. I'm right by like one of the nicest parks of Calgary. And there's a ton of light because it's sunny as hell here, but I could see that potentially presenting some issues. The camera overheated a little bit yesterday, faster than it normally does. And when like the sun is on it, that tends to happen. So I guess I could like build something that just eliminates that. Just put something across the window right at the point of the camera that just like absorbs the light and then doesn't let it go through. Worth considering. What else? So I'm really running into a bottleneck right now. There's a lot of money on the table because I'm not responding to my emails anymore. I used to respond to all of my emails, every email that I got, basically, even outreach emails, but now it's just becoming absolutely impossible because of volume. So check this out. Program leads here, promotional updates here, solicitation, sponsorships. Check out all the sponsorship requests I've gotten in the last little bit. See all this? Look at this. Insanity. This was just so far today. This is yesterday. I mean, how many emails is that? Let's just do the math. Can I not see? I thought the number came up. Okay, anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. Okay, so it's 20-ish. So I'm receiving 20 emails a day with requests for sponsorship. So I had a thought. These sponsorship emails, I really don't like sponsorships. I don't think I'm going to do sponsorships for my YouTube channel. Like it would just kill my credibility. The projected impact on authenticity over the course of the next 10 years compared to the ability to make $5,000 for a video today. Doesn't really seem like it makes sense. I think it depends on the format. Like, I was chatting with you guys, I think a week ago or so about Instagram. That to me makes sense because it's a news channel. It just talks about tools all day. This doesn't really make sense. It's very long form. It's like super relationship based. My videos aren't 15 seconds fast cut with like motion graphics and music. It's just me talking for a long time. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of seeing how many of these sponsorships essentially are willing to turn into some sort of monetary opportunity for me. I don't know for sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but I want to get AI to just automatically manage all of this. If I get 20 a day, And I honestly have no idea what the hell like seriously, no clue what I'm going to do here. But if I can get 20 of these a day, and then I can say something like, "Hey, I have no idea how your freaking product works. No clue whatsoever. But the fact that you're offering this stuff gives me the ability to deliver value to my community. So if you're game, I can provide a discount code, a massive discount code, has to be huge, like 50% off or something, that is only within my community, that only people from my community can access. And if you're okay with it, then I can add it to a giant list of a bunch of tools with discounts. And in exchange, you pay me some money or something. Now, if you think about it, I'm delivering value and I'm doing it so transparently because now I'm hosting things that only provide value to my community. It's like, it's a massive discount on a tool. I don't know how good the tool is. There's no way in hell I'll ever have the time to be able to go through everything, but maybe I could crowdsource this, have people in Maker School tell me whether or not it works. Then I just have this massive Google Sheet with like, freaking promo links, like 50% off this software platform. It's like, is the software platform awesome? Most of the time, probably not. Most of the time, software platforms, people that are reaching out to me anyway, just are shittier than like the best available alternative. But sometimes these tools are actually okay, or they're better. And if you do like the cost calculation, if I can do a 50% discount code to a platform that's the same pricing as something else, and it's not 50% worse, it'll actually have value to people in Maker School, So I was thinking of just automating all of the responses to this. Every time somebody sends me a response to this, I just pass it through some GPT, and then I say, hey, I'll be upfront. I do not do sponsorships on my YouTube for X, Y, and Z reasons. Maybe I do. We can chat sponsorships for my Instagram, but they have to conform to all of these things, and they have to be tools that I would otherwise talk about or something. But anyway, I don't do sponsorships on my YouTube. However, I think I see another angle that you and I could work together with. Here's a massive explanation of what it is that I'm looking for. What do you think? If so, print me out an XYZ affiliate code. I'm going to make it clear I'm not doing any calls because a lot of these guys want calls. And it's like, can I really do 20 calls a day for affiliate shit? Obviously not. But, no calls, no nothing. Just send me over the link and I'll add it to this repository and people in my community can take a look at it. I'm not advertising it. It's just one section at the corner with like 5,000 other tools that you'll be right next to. But, people people that find value in your tool can go and they can use it. And, here is how much I want to charge you for that. And I don't know what I'm going to charge them for. I have no idea even if I'm going to charge them. This might just be a simple value add to Maker School. Okay. And I fully automate the campaign completely. And then I just have a giant list of links that come in. And every time a link comes in, it like parcels out the link. It checks Google Sheets. It verifies whether or not the link's already in there. And then if it's not, just adds it along with a description of the tool. How cool would that be? Well, I get 20 replies a day with this stuff, right? I think at least 10% of people would be willing to do this. At least 10% of people would be willing to do this. What's that mean? That means that every day I could be getting 2 more tools with some crazy affiliate discount, like 30 to 50% or something, that makes the people in Maker School's lives easier. And ideally, I would not be a part of this. Maybe at some point it makes sense to have some sort of affiliate manager that takes these, verifies, discusses, maybe actually jumps on a call. Well, Nick Saraev Media believes in this, right? I don't know. To me, I find all that shit kind of stupid, but maybe it would. But then, I could actually add a lot of value to Maker School and my other communities. And then in that way, I could be like a filter too for just like, not only is it a community that offers you a ton of value with all of the things that I've talked about, like you get the networking aspect, then you also get like the program, the day-by-day consistency, you get like the coupon codes and discounts. Now we're basically also like a coupon aggregator and we can add or value stack there too. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I was thinking about it the other day. I think it'd be really cool. I think I can set something up to do most of this automatically, which is why I'm so excited about it. Because I've already gone through the process of like categorizing my emails here. Like it's really easy to just say, hey, is this a sponsorship? Then no, here's a bunch of shit. Then it got me thinking about solicitation emails. So check this out. I receive a ton of solicitation on a daily basis. Look at this guy. Look at the balls on this dude. Jovan said, John recommended me. And I'm like, huh. I have a lot of Johns in my group. It could be anybody. Look at the plausible deniability here. I got to respect the hustle. Anyway, school injection method. Do you guys see anything that I could do? I'm asking you guys this right now. Like pause the video and think after I'm done explaining this. Do you guys see anything that I could do with all of the people that are reaching out to me to try and sell me things? I have massive audience and massive distribution. Is there something that I could do? Aside from just cold email roasting them, because I've done that before and it's actually worked pretty well. Hey, today I'm roasting 3 cold emails for my stack. here's why the first email sucks. Here's how I'd make it better. Here's the second email sucks. Here's how I'd make it better. Is there anything that I could do? Anything in the same vein where like somebody's trying to pitch me something and then I say, hey, actually try doing this and then I can benefit or people in my community can benefit. Obviously I could just try and soft sell them on a maker school. That'd be kind of funny. Hey, your outreach sucks. Join maker school. Drops mic. But I'm thinking of like more nuanced ways of turning these into revenue opportunities or value opportunities. So if anybody has any thoughts on that, like I do receive a ton of that sort of outreach every day too. Just off the top of my head, it looks like I receive about 8 of these a day on average, whereas I receive 15 to 20 sponsorships. So I'm not entirely sure what to do there. Then I was also thinking about potentially doing some sort of AI monitoring of my invoices and receipts because right now I just don't really have a system that automatically categorizes them. So every time like tax season comes around and, tax season came around for me a month and a half ago, but I didn't settle it at the time and the rate that I should have. So I'm still dealing with that stuff now with my accountant, but we're clearing it all out. But I mean, like maybe I have something that automatically categorizes the incoming receipts, adds them to a thing, like whatever. Anyway, I'm really excited about this because I think tech is finally at the point now where I can just shove a bunch of shit in the prompt, not actually have to do anything advanced like RAG, and actually have it like do reasonably well. So big chunk of what I was working on earlier this morning. And yeah, just wanted to, I guess, like, extend the idea. If you guys have any thoughts on ways that you guys have seen this done that I might not be privy to, next time I do my daily update, I'll read through and I'll see if there's anything cool, any juice that I might be able to add. And if it's a good one, I'll definitely attribute you, tag you, I'll shout you out during the videos and stuff like that. Okay, so just wanted to fill y'all in. Thank you very much for watching. Definitely join Maker School. We just hit 2,900 and I think 15 members or something like that. We officially crossed 300,000, by the way. Go to the school games, check this out. $301,252 a month just from Maker School. Although, god damn, is Spencer catch? Oh no, Spencer's closing the gap again. Oh, he's coming after my ass, man. I don't know how much time I have. Anyway, he runs a paid ad funnel, so he's like figured it out, I think. It's not organic for him, it's paid. But anyway, god damn, dude. I didn't even notice that. He's currently probably the fastest growing community on School, and he's also the second biggest community on School. That guy's nutty. I got to respond to him. He sent me a text earlier. Okay, anyway, thank you guys so much. Looking forward to seeing y'all on Maker School or on the next daily update. Cheers.